Hey guys, welcome back to Drunk on Writing. I'm your host, as always, Warren Pawlowski. And on this day, this lovely, hot, humid, fun day, in this episode, which is brought to you in part through the patronage of Ariya Norinth, as always, and a special shout out to Jeff for upping his patronage this month, like the boss that he is. In this episode, on this hot day, I want to talk about something that's been sort of bothering me of late. See, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite these last couple of months. It's been something of a relief for me. You could see more about that in the newly launched Keep On Writing show that just came out. You can watch the first episodes over at drunkonwriting.com if you feel free. And I've noticed something of a pattern, a disturbing one at that. Now, if you know anything about Fortnite, you probably know that it's big for kids. Like, kids friggin' love Fortnite, so much so that schools have outright banned it. There's a whole movement to ban it in schools, in libraries, everywhere. Talking heads have gone on at length about how it's harmful to developing psyches and promotes this other avenue for cyberbullying. But what I've seen of late is the exact opposite. In fact, I would actually go so far as to say Fortnite is probably helping far more kids than it's harming. Night after night, week after week, month after month, I've been randomly teamed up with young kids in Fortnite. Now, this is at 11, 12 at night, and these kids, for the most part, are 11 or 12 years old at the oldest. A lot of them have been a lot younger. And inevitably, me and the other guys or ladies in my party end up chatting with them because, we have to go through the game. We end up talking, and we find out over the course of the 15, 20, half hour, I guess, why they are playing Fortnite, or why specifically they're playing at that time. Most of the kids, they tell me about their parents. They tell me how they're abusers, how they're alcoholics, drug addicts, how they don't care about them. I listened to one kid ask his inebriated father, who just came in at that time of the night, started yelling at him for playing, but then walked away. The kid just nonchalantly just asked him, "Hey, could you not pass out on the couch tonight? Because I'd like to sleep there." I've had kids talk about running away from home. I've had kids miss a shot in the game and then start just hating on themselves, talking about how useless they are. I've had kids talk about wanting to kill themselves, that there's nothing they do that's right, that their voices are awful, and they apologize to me profusely for sounding so young, despite the fact that they are young. That's their voice. Their voices, who cares? I've had kids cry in the game when I've told them that it gets better, that there's more to life than the here and now, than the stuff that they're going through, that there is a brighter future ahead. Some of them have outright laughed at me because they don't believe me. And again, these aren't isolated incidents. This is an ongoing thread. And I think it's something that a lot of parents, a lot of teachers, and a lot of politicians, frankly, don't really get. Fortnite is escape. See, when I was a kid, and probably when all of those people I just mentioned were kids also, specifically like for me, grammar and middle school and high school, what I escaped into were books. These big, dense sci-fi books where the protagonist was a character from another planet, usually, who would come to Earth and be like, look at this planet with so much potential, and this species, humans, with so much untapped but wasted potential, and they would kind of come in and try to help us be better than we were. The kind of story where all you really need is a helping hand. I became engrossed in comic books, back when comics starred heroes that were definitely absolutely heroes, when Spider-Man and Wolverine and Mr. Fantastic, and yes, I was a Marvel kid, yes. Let me just state that out right before we go on. When they would always come out on top of the bad guy. They were the heroes, they should win. And the movies I watched, they were the same. The antagonists, whether they were aliens or terrorists or whatever else, they were always beaten. And all of that kind of instilled this idea in me that it's good to be good. It's good to be kind. Be kind to one another, as Ellen says. I love her saying. But eventually, I learned that this is not always the case. I remember back in, I think, 99, I saw this movie called Arlington Road. I was 13, and I remember it simply blowing my mind. Now, if you don't know Arlington Road, I'm going to spoil it right now. Because the bad guy wins. And the bad guy doesn't just win. It's not just like this nice little pure victory or whatever. He utterly destroys the good guy. The good guy's life is ruined. He's killed, and his life is ruined. He's framed for everything. It is awful. And I left the theater. I probably shouldn't have been watching it at that age, but I left the theater thinking, wow, I can't believe I just saw that. That's unbelievable. The bad guy won. That never happens. And it was just a few years later that same feeling came into reality. And my world, our world, was forever changed. 18 years later, a generation later, where are we? Are we happy? Are we fulfilled? Are we safe? I don't think I could listen to anyone tell me yes to any of those questions and keep a straight face, because we want to think it's true, but it really kind of isn't. And you know what? Our kids, they feel that too. When we're stressed about the world, when we're down, when we see something that practically makes us explode with rage and frustration, the kids know. When we drink, when we smoke, when we pop a few pills because we just can't deal with it, they know that too. They're smart. Kids are extremely smart, and they're very sensitive to the circumstances surrounding them. And so just like I did, just like generations have done the world over time and time again, the kids find a means to escape. They find a world where they have a sense of control. For me, it was books, it was movies, it was things with endings, really, things with generally happy endings. But today's kid, they're entering a world that doesn't have an ending. I got hope out of the fact that these stories were positive ones. These kids are making their own stories a positive one. They're entering this world where, despite so many random variables being thrown at them, they can come out on top. They can make seemingly a difference, at least for the fleeting moment. And, even if that means, yes, killing the opposing team, it makes a difference. Because Fortnite, objectively, it is most of the time about killing the opposite teams, but that's not what it really is about. It's about building a community, building camaraderie. It's about talking to other players. It's about sharing resources. It's about healing. It's about being a team player. It's showing off cool dance moves, or the latest costume, or pickaxe, or even your glider. All these things come together, and it creates what books and movies were for me and for earlier generations. It's a way to cope with reality. It's a way to find some semblance of relief. And so what I'm getting at is, if you're a parent and you find your kid playing too much Fortnite in your opinion, don't take the game away from them. Don't punish them. Don't ban the game. Talk to your kid, because chances are there's something wrong with something. They might not even be able to express it, but there's something likely going on where they dive into this video game because they don't know how else to cope with things. They might be hurting. They might think that their only outlet is to go online and play and talk to strangers, many of which are going to lend a sympathetic ear, but and I think those far outnumber anyone with a more nefarious nature, but those are out there too, and they do have an impact on developing emotionally unstable psyches. They can go in and just wreak absolute havoc. And that's even if they're hurting, even if they've been hurt. You know, they just kind of carry on the cycle. We know how bullying works, and it's just going to continue unless, we take a step in there. But now, speaking to the Fortnite kids, you youngsters who play Fortnite, you might not think that this applies to you. You might think that you play Fortnite or Apex or PUBG or League of Legends purely for fun, purely because you're good at it, purely for the off chance that you become a pro and get paid to do it. But if you do think that's the case, do me a favor, sit back a second and just really think about it. Think about why you play. Think about the feelings that you get when you play. What do you get out of playing these games? And, maybe take a step back. Maybe take a step away. Maybe put the controller down and think about the issue, because escaping into a game or escaping into a book or escaping into a movie, a comic, whatever, that's what it is. It's escape, but it's only temporary. It doesn't actually solve the issue. It doesn't fix anything. It just kind of puts things off for now. The only way that we can fix anything is to confront it and find a way to repair it, find the solution. And that's what we got to do. So, honestly, I just want to not go on Fortnite and hear a bunch of kids talk about killing themselves, because I just can't stand that. It's horrible. It's just horrible. Games should be fun. This has been a Drunk on Writing Reacts, and I know you probably didn't enjoy this episode. I didn't really enjoy this episode, but I felt like it was something that needed to be said. So if you got something out of this, if it made you feel something, made you think, or whatever else, please be sure to like the video. Please give the channel a subscribe or a like, or comment below on your thoughts on the matter, whether or not I'm just purely nuts in how I'm feeling about this. And, you can also head on over to drunkonwriting.com, where it doesn't only support the show, but you can also get early shows, early access, exclusive videos, and a whole bunch more. Until next time, cheers. And usually I would say keep on writing, but I want to close this one out by saying good luck out there. I think we all kind of need it.